Hey friends, for today's tutorial, we're going to be working on a scrapbook layout. Now, I'm actually going to be using the Snowhaven Workshop on the Go card making kit. And no, I haven't made any cards with it, but I'm just going to show you really quick, much like the Yuletide scrapbook Workshop on the Go kit. You can create all these different cards very easily and simply, following the directions, cutting out just as it shows you, and really just having a lot of fun with it. And you can create a variety of different cards and fun things. And it includes your envelopes, your card bases, it even comes with some shimmer trim, heart enamel dots, and it comes with an exclusive stamp set. Now, I've shown this stamp set a couple times already over our 12 days for the special 12-day event at Above Ruby's studio. But what I want to do with this kit now is make a scrapbook layout. I still have all the cards, I can still have fun with it, I can mix and match things, but the paper and this stamp set, as well as the heart enamel dots, really spoke to me with this we go together like Christmas and a sweater. Now that's a cute thing for a card, of course, but I had some other ideas with it. So let's go ahead and get started. This particular stamp set coordinates these two images here with the Art Philosophy Cricut cartridge. I love images that coordinate and go. It helps you out a ton when you're working with things. Now, I pulled out my papers. I'm using Glacier and Cranberry. I even have some Whisper cardstock here and white. And then I have the base here that comes with the Snowhaven kit. What I'm going to do is get started here. I actually have some adhesive backed cardstock, and I'm going to be using this to cut out some shapes here. And it really actually doesn't matter what color it is. We're most likely not going to be using the shapes we cut out the way you may think. Just in case, though, you may want to pick a color that coordinates. It's up to you. All right, so I'm gonna place my adhesive back cardstock on my cutting mat. Grab my Cricut. Yes, I'm still using the expression. I do have the new Explorer. It's awesome and what it does allow you to do. But for the 12 days, I wanted to just really focus on the projects and not trying to teach a different machine or way to do things. You can cut these things out with the Explorer just the same way. And we have a lot coming with the Explorer, so pretty cool. It is an awesome, awesome Christmas gift. I will tell you that, especially with the new iPad app that will be coming out very, very soon. Now, I just want to show you, I'm going to make sure real dial size is on. I'm going to cut this out at okay, so to cut it out to size, you want to cut it out at 1 3/4 inches and the heart at 1 inch. And I actually am going to go ahead and do 2 1/4 inches. And for some reason, it doesn't have the page number. Normally it tells you the page number that it's on, but I should be able to figure it out pretty easily. Just give me 1 second. List which oval it is. It looks closer to this oval, so I'm going to go ahead and assume it's oval 3 since it's not listed there. It might say in the instructions, I should pull that out, but we're going to do 2 1/4 inches on this oval. Real dial size, and then press cut. Try again. There it goes. That was really weird. I don't know why it just didn't work that time. I'm going to cut one out at the actual size, which is 1 3/4 inches. Just to see, make sure. I'm going to do a line return, and then I'm going to cut this heart out. It's a 1 inch heart, and the heart should be this one right here. So this should be a shift heart 1.5 inches. I'm going to cut out a couple of those. And then I'm going to cut out a couple at the size it actually is. So that's the 1 inch. And repeat last. And I might do 2 at 1.25 inches as well. So I'm just kind of doing a couple different sizes of the images that I have the stamps for. As you can see, if I pull this out, this is exactly the right shape and size, the 1 3/4 inches for this stamp size. So I did the right one. It is oval 3 on your Art Philosophy cartridge. Usually it says, it even has like the P there for the page number, and it usually tells you what page it's on. I'm not sure what happened there, that it's not on there, but that's okay. Okay, so adhesive back cardstock I keep every scrap of because it's like gold. But I'm going, oh, well, that's okay. I just pulled the, and I'm going to kind of get the idea of where I want things to go before I start cutting out more paper. But the main feature that we're going to use is we go together like Christmas and a sweater, and I'm thinking that's going to go kind of like somewhere around here, and then we're going to do some stripes, and then we're going to do our main photo and then a couple other photos up here. So if that is the case, I want to cut a couple strips of this, get it as straight as possible. I like that. I like that. We'll see what I do with that. I want to do these two as well, actually. And then I'm going to use the cranberry and the glacier. Let's start with cranberry. I'm going to do a 4x6 photo. So if I do a 4x6 photo, I'm going to do 6.5 inches. By 4.5 inches. And then I'm going to do 6.25 by 4.25 for my glacier. And I'm going to round all the corners on this. I'm going to use my We Are Memory Keepers corner chomper. Something about rounding corners for this one, it just feels like, I don't know, it's going to be the right thing to do. It's going to give it a little bit more softness. 1/2 inch corner round. Gives it almost, you know, like the rounded corners, kind of that old-fashioned photo feel too, and there's something about like that Christmas sweater, I don't know, just gives that nostalgia almost. And with the oval shape, all just kind of ties it together. This is going to layer, this is going to be for my one photo. And then let's plan for a couple square photos. So if I do 2 squares, 2x2 squares, let's do 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. 2 3/4. 2 3/4, and then we're going to do the red 2.5. 2.5. Again, rounding the corners. I can stack up the multiple shapes of the same size. Let's do a 1/4 inch round. These are smaller, so smaller squares or smaller round will be just fine. Perfect. Okay, now before I start applying these guys down, I'm going to set these all aside. We'll get to them in a minute here. I'm also probably going to use some of my shimmer trim because I love my shimmer trim. But what I'm going to do, get a good idea of where I want my photo, how these strips are probably going to go along the bottom here. Okay, now you could leave this really, really white, but I'm not going to. So I'm going to kind of keep in mind where I had these, peeling off the backing sheet on my adhesive back cardstock. And I'm going to place down gently. You don't want to go too hard. These should lift off relatively easily. Even though it's not repositionable. With what we're doing, it should be all right. Okay. That's all down. Now, I'm going to grab my splat mat. Here we go. Now, I'm going to use, to start, some chalkboard Tattered Angels Glimmer Mist. This is so fun. I love this chalkboard glimmer mist. And I'm going to spray really close around each of those images. Then I'm going to go in with some rum punch, and I'm going to spray again, but kind of up in different areas, around, on the sides. Just give splatters. Yes, perfect. I want to heat set it. Should be done with our splat mat. We'll see if we decide to add a little bit more color, maybe add a little more glacier or cranberry as we go, but for now, we should be good. I'm going to, I heat set it so that it reduces my amount of bleed. When I peel back, a little bit of adhesive stuck there. Alright, we go together like Christmas and a sweater and our heart. Pull them off our stamp set. I promise you I'm like the world's messiest stamper. I don't think there's like anybody who makes a bigger mess than me when stamping and inking. If you think you do, go ahead and tell me. Or send me a picture. I'm going to center this as much as I can inside my masked out area. And I want to do a couple hearts. So a couple glacier, 2 in glacier and 2 in cranberry is the plan. Actually, maybe down here with the glacier. And they almost have that weave pattern in the stamp, which makes it really cute. So a big one. Alright, now our photo matting. I'm just going to grab my glue glider, of course, and place this right on down. You could further ink edges and make a little bit of a splattered mess on the photo mats themselves too, but it's not necessary. We're going to do this one all the way across the bottom. So just one strip down the middle and complete the edges is really what I find works just enough. And go edge to edge. Yeah. And I'm not going all the way across this time. I'm going to tuck it a little bit. Flip it over to get a really close cut. Add a little more adhesive on there because I don't trust how I just did that with lifting it all up, that it'll stay. Okay, now I'm going to use the heart enamel dots. Yes, they are heart-shaped and they have adhesive on them. And this keeps a relatively flat layout happening, which is what I really like about it. Sometimes our layouts can get really, really thick and heavy very quickly and can fill up our scrapbooks. really, you know, really heavy. And sometimes that's fine, but sometimes, you know, you can kind of balance it out a little bit by having a thinner page here and there inside as well. And I'm just kind of putting some extra hearts around my other hearts, kind of in sets of 3s. And finishing it off, and that's about it. So the pinks and the blues and the teals, they all kind of complement each other pretty well. If I were to do it again, I might whiten out a little bit more of the chalkboard. I thought this would have a little bit more white to it when I was working with it, but it's pretty teal. So I may have done that a little bit differently, but I love the rum punch with the cranberry. That goes great. It's a great glimmer and shimmer, and perfect. So I hope this gives you some fun tips and ideas. You can really use this technique of cutting out a shape a little bit bigger than your stamp and using it on cards and scrapbook layouts and a whole bunch of stuff. So have a very, very, very Merry Christmas. Enjoy the moments, and I'll see you again soon at AboveRubyStudio.com for a lot more ideas, tutorials all year long. Just a ton of fun. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.